Hey there, little friends! Welcome to the Magical Web Story, where exciting tales come to life every week. If you love magical stories filled with fun and adventure, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to tell all your friends to join in on the fun. Now sit back, relax, and get ready for the amazing story of Pinocchio Comes to Life.
Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived an old woodcarver named Geppetto. Geppetto was a kind and gentle man, but he was lonely. Every day he would carve beautiful toys out of wood for the children in the village. But no matter how many toys he made, he always wished for one thing: a child of his own. One day, Geppetto found a special piece of wood. It was smooth and warm, as if it had a heart of its own. With a smile on his face, Geppetto decided to carve a puppet from this piece of wood. He worked carefully, carving a head, arms, legs, and even a cute little nose. When he finished, he looked at his creation with pride and said, "I will call you Pinocchio." That night, as Geppetto lay in bed, he looked out at the twinkling stars in the sky and made a wish. If only Pinocchio were a real boy, he whispered softly, or falling asleep. What Geppetto didn't know was that a kind and magical blue fairy was watching over him. She heard Geppetto's wish and decided to grant it. In the middle of the night, the blue fairy floated into Geppetto's workshop. With a wave of her wand, she sprinkled sparkling fairy dust over Pinocchio. "Little puppet," she said, "come to life." Suddenly, Pinocchio's wooden eyes blinked open. He wiggled his fingers and toes, and before he knew it, he was sitting up and looking around. "I can move. I can talk," Pinocchio exclaimed in surprise. The blue fairy smiled and said, "Pinocchio, you are alive, but remember, you are still made of wood. If you want to become a real boy, you must prove that you are brave, truthful, and unselfish. Always listen to your conscience, and you will find your way." Or Pinocchio could ask what a conscience was. Blue Fairy disappeared in a swirl of light. The next morning, Geppetto woke up and went to his workshop. When he saw Pinocchio moving and talking, he could hardly believe his eyes. "Pinocchio, you're alive!" Geppetto cried, picking up the little puppet and hugging him tightly. Pinocchio laughed and said, "Yes, Papa, I'm alive and I can talk and walk." Geppetto was overjoyed. His wish had come true. He decided to send Pinocchio to school, just like other children, so he could learn and grow. He made Pinocchio a little outfit and gave him a shiny red apple for his teacher. "Now be a good boy, Pinocchio, and listen to your teacher," Geppetto said, waving goodbye as Pinocchio set off for his first day of school. As Pinocchio walked to school, he was excited to learn new things. But on his way, he met a sly fox and a tricky cat. They pretended to be his friends and asked, "Where are you going, little puppet?" "I'm going to school," Pinocchio replied proudly. But the fox and the cat had other plans. "Why go to school when you can have fun with us? We're going to a place where everyone plays all day and never has to work." Pinocchio hesitated. It sounded like so much fun. He remembered Geppetto's words about being good, but he was curious. So, against his better judgment, Pinocchio decided to follow the fox and the cat. Soon, Pinocchio found himself in a strange and wild place, filled with noisy games and distractions. Pinocchio forgot all about school and Geppetto's advice. When he finally realized he needed to go back, Fox and Cat laughed at him. Pinocchio felt guilty and worried about what to tell Geppetto. When he met the blue fairy on his way home, she asked, "Pinocchio, why didn't you go to school?" Ashamed, Pinocchio lied. "I did go to school," he said, but as soon as he did, his wooden nose started to grow longer and longer. Pinocchio touched his nose in surprise. "What's happening to me?" the blue fairy gently explained. "Pinocchio, whenever you tell a lie, your nose will grow longer. Lies can only bring trouble. If you want to become a real boy, you must always tell the truth." Pinocchio was sad and promised to do better. The blue fairy used her magic to shrink his nose back to normal and sent him on his way. When Pinocchio finally returned home, Geppetto was worried but also relieved to see him. Pinocchio ran to Geppetto and hugged him. "I'm sorry, Papa. I promised to be a good boy and listen to you from now on." Geppetto smiled warmly and forgave him. "I'm glad you're safe, Pinocchio. Remember, I love you no matter what, but it's important to be honest and do the right thing." And so Pinocchio learned his first lesson about honesty. He still had many adventures ahead, but he was determined to be brave, truthful, and unselfish, just like the blue fairy had told him. Dear children, just like Pinocchio learned today, it's always important to tell the truth and listen to the people who care about you. Lies may seem like an easy way out, but they can lead to trouble. Remember, being honest honest, and doing the right thing will always help you grow into the best person you can be. Tune in next time for more of Pinocchio's exciting adventures on the Magical Web Story.